So let's dive in. And when you look at blood work, most doctors, again, will only test for one or two unless you start asking for more. Again, they're going to do what they're best at, and sometimes they don't go outside that box. So if they're not familiar with anything beyond TSH, they might not look, or T4. So you've got T4, free T4. That sounds like a party. Total T4, T3, free T3, and that's total T3. That just means combined T3 and free T3. And you might not get all your lab results with all these, but your key ones would be T4, free T4, T3, free T3, and then understanding what reverse T3 is, which is really important because we'll talk about that in a minute, and your TSH. And then there's lifestyle factors that actually cause damage to certain brain organs. I don't want to say damage, but there are certain lifestyle factors that will cause disruptions in the way the body starts cascading hormones. And so those lifestyle factors could be environmental toxins, they could be lifestyle habits, or circumstances, or traumas, or illnesses. So there's a lot involved, and your body is an orchestra. If one thing is off, it's going to pop off and cause another disruption somewhere else. We're going to start off with T4 because this is most commonly prescribed by MDs. And really, it's not what people need when you start to look at the stats. So we'll talk about in a minute. Of course, it's needed, but when people need to supplement with it, it's not really typically what they need. So T4 thyroxine, there's two types. So you've got the total, and then you got free T4. So T4 measures both inactive and active. So active means it's circulating, it's binding to receptor sites, and then inactive means it needs to be converted. Okay. So free T4, the portion of T4 not bound to proteins, so kind of that gives you that picture. It's free, it's moving around. Free T4 has the ability to enter into tissues and then be converted into T3, which is wonderful because T3 has a lot more benefits for metabolic health, for fat loss in the body, for energy, and we'll go over that in a minute. Okay, so T4 as an inactive hormone, there's no receptor sites for this one. So like your levothyroxine, your synthroid, that's all going to be T4. And you'll see again in stats why we don't really need to use that very often. This is produced by the thyroid gland. This one needs to be converted to T3 by the liver, and other tissues actually help to convert it. So if you look at, is my liver not doing well? Or when I did my blood work and they tested all these things, did my ALT, did my liver enzymes show unusual? That would be a clue that you're probably not converting your inactive hormone to T3. And that's lowering your energy levels, messing up your fat loss or your metabolization, and messing with your mood. A lot of people do not convert T4 into other thyroid hormones, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So this is kind of laying the foundation. Next one, are 4.5 to 12.5. This is information, and then we'll go over a snapshot of all the things at the very end so you guys can take a screenshot of that. And then free T4 is 1 to 1.5. It's not a huge difference from standard ranges to functional ranges, you'll see. The only one is free. So not a big deal. Again, in functional ranges, we're really looking for other stuff. Okay, so T4 to T3 conversion, what impairs that? And we're going to be looking at nutritional deficiencies. There's a whole host of them. And if you're supplementing with your standard grocery store brand of multivitamin, you're not going to be getting absorbable nutrients, period. We need food to help make conversions in our body. So if it is food sourced, phenomenal. Synergy's great, Garden of Life. There's a whole host of companies that make products from foods. Stress. Now, stress could come in waves. Stress could come in unresolved matters. Stress could come in traumas. There's a whole layer on stress. So, and how that will inhibit T4 to T3 is through another pathway. Then you've got liver dysfunctions. So, dysfunctions could be spike protein accumulation. That could cause some problems. Parasites in the liver, heavy metals congesting up portions of the liver if you're detoxing. Um, Poor bile drainage. So you look at these things and you say, okay, well, I'm having an issue. What is, what am I not doing? And then you can begin to say, okay, well, I need to really manage my stress. And that can be coming from the adrenals being overstimulated, increasing your cortisol levels for far too long. And that inhibits these thyroid producing hormones.